Go down the rabbit hole with Momix. On December 12th through 14th, PennLive Arts presents this dance illusion company in Alice, a wildly imaginative take on Lewis Carroll's beloved Wonderland. A mix of awe-inspiring movement, vivid imagery, and imaginative costumes bring the Mad Hatter, Queen of Hearts, and more favorites to life. Get tickets for Momix's smash hit Alice at PennLiveArts.org. It's the end of the year, and my wallet is getting a workout. The holidays mean I am looking for any deal that I can. But whether you're trying to find discounted presents or treat yourself to maybe a New Year's Eve outfit, thrifting might be the answer. I am here today with producer Abby Fritz and our newsletter editor, Siani Colón, to talk through secondhand options in Philly. From, your classic thrift store experiences to high-end consignment. We know where to shop for your next pre-owned gem. It's Thursday, December 4th. I'm Trenae Nuri, and let's go thrifting. Hey, Abby. Hey, Siani.
Hi, Trenae.
Hi, guys.
Guys, before the pandemic, there was a thrift store that sold dollar clothes.
What? That's crazy.
I know. And it was perfect for me when my kids were younger because kids outgrow stuff all the time. And it was just such a great resource to get affordable pieces that I knew that, they could rip it, they could get dirty, whatever. It was on Germantown Avenue, which is now home to a bakery, Merschbacher's, in Germantown. So this thrift store no longer exists, but I have those memories. So basically, it's kind of like thrift stores in Philly are hidden gems, but they need to be highlighted.
For sure. And I feel like there is a really wide range of types of secondhand in Philly. And I think that's something we might need to distinguish between thrifting and consignment and vintage. There's a lot of different categories.
I remember I saw someone getting roasted on Twitter because they had said, and yes, I still call it Twitter. They had said that they had found this pair of high-end boots that they thrifted for $499.
Oh.
And people were like, that is not thrifting. Mind you, they do retail somewhere around $1,000, but that is second-hand shopping, not necessarily thrifting. Because when we think of thrifting, we're thinking, cheaper, affordable, you're being frugal. And those type of thrift stores, these are all secondhand goods that are donated. And we see them getting donations, bags upon bags. So they may be cheaper, maybe associated with a nonprofit, but not all the time. But then you get to the consignment shops and those sell on behalf of someone else and splitting the profits. So now, because money is being exchanged as opposed to just relying on donations, the inventory may be a bit more curated. They may be more particular about what brands they have available. There's a lot of debate now when people talk about thrift stores being more expensive and the price going up, and blaming resellers and the gentrification of thrifting I've seen being tossed out. I think people have to remember the overhead costs that stores are dealing with, the amount of labor that goes into sourcing these things and making sure they're actually in good condition and sellable to begin with. So I think these are the things we have to remember.
One of the ways I can find affordable secondhand is I go to pay by the pounds. I know there's a couple in Philly, but mostly I go out to the bins in Jersey, which is the Goodwill bins. And it's literally they're on tracks. You fill them up with a bunch of random stuff and they are in a room and you have to dig through them. And then you literally pay for clothes and things by the pound. And that it's definitely I think one of the most affordable ways to shop, but you need a lot of time. You have to get out to Jersey for it. And then you need an insane amount of borax to make it smell okay at the end of the day. But I feel what I see in Philly proper mostly, maybe a thrifting secondhand trend is secondhand boutique. stores. And I think like a great example of that is Manzanita over in West Philly. It's a really cute small store. It's very clearly curated. A lot of it is secondhand, but it's like there's like a 90s section, and they have their finger on the pulse of the trends right now. And they also sell local artists, and it's like they do really fun window shop displays. So it's like it's a very thoughtful secondhand experience. And I see a lot of those types of stores right now in and around Philly.
Abby, I agree with you. I love when a thrift store or a secondhand store gets really creative with their displays, so you can kind of reimagine how you can put pieces together. I really enjoy out in the burbs. I like Plato's Closet for maybe more current or trendy items. And it's also a great place for outerwear. I love Buffalo Exchange in Center City. If I'm looking for like a Philly sports team related shirt or jersey or something, and definitely like 90s stuff too. Y2K 90s vibes. But my ultimate favorite thrift store in Philly is the Goodwill in Parkside. And I often donate items as well as shop there as well, because I feel like this is my thrift store and I want to contribute as much as I can to this store and keep it thriving. Great place for dresses and cute tops and lots of jeans, but they have all sorts of stuff in there. Furniture, paintings, glassware. They do have a men's and children's section, not particularly big, and we'll talk about those sections later, but tons of outfits and scrubs.
Yeah.
So if you work in like certain industries, you might be able to find like work attire.
Yeah, I think Goodwills are really good for stuff like that, where they just tend to be bigger locations and they have a like wide variety of sections of more stuff, but it's like less curated than like maybe some of these smaller consignment-y places. I like your point about donating too. I feel like that's a big part of like thrifting culture, is that there is the option to also like recycle your clothes and give back.
Yeah, I definitely don't give any clothing item that has a stain or a rip. Because it's just like, I wouldn't want to get that, white shirts. No, it's really hard. And sometimes I'm in a situation where obviously I have children. So I always think about like other families and like items that a kid would need in that season. And it's tough when you change from like winter to spring or like summer to fall, because then you're giving out like T-shirts, but people are looking for long sleeve shirts.
Yeah.
So that's something to consider as well. And there are donation centers that I also donate to, like the one on Ridge Avenue in Roxborough, where it's not a store, but you can donate bags of clothes or even furniture, and they have folks to come pick it up, like kind of curbside, which is really convenient.
Yeah, I donate a lot at the Goodwill in South Philly, because I think there's 5 different locations where you can either shop or donate in the city, all across the city. And the one in South Philly, I can like drive my car around to, which is nice, because then I can donate like some bigger items. Like one time I donated like a old microwave and things like that. And they'll take not just clothes, but also electronics and stuff like that. So that's nice. I also sell my clothes back to some of these consignment places we were talking about. Do you guys do that as well?
Yeah, I've tried to do Plato's Closet in the burbs, but it's often kind of humbling when your stuff gets rejected. You're like, what? It's not in season? Oh.
Been there, done that with Buffalo Exchange.
Okay.
Yeah. Or they give you like $1, and you're like, those are Levi's, but okay. I feel like I only at this point, like I had a little stint in the fashion industry, so I have a couple nice things here and there. So if I'm reselling, I'll go to 2nd Street, which is like a more high-end consignment store. They sell a lot of secondhand designer and things like that, and they have a couple locations in the city, one in Center City and one in South Philly. And then also Green Street, too, which is another like chain
Love Green Street.
in Philly. Yeah, and they have a couple locations as well. I think there's one on South Street, there's one in Pennsport, and then there's one in Chestnut Hill. It kind of is like Plato's Closet, I would say, is like comparable.
Yeah, it's like trendy items. I highly recommend Green Street if you're looking for like professional wear. I got these really cute Calvin Klein black like block heels. I wore those things out, okay, for many years. And that was like one of my favorite finds.
Oh, that's a good point. What do you guys like typically shop for at thrift stores?
At this point, I just really try to be open with it because I feel like if I am actively going with a specific thing in mind, I'm likely not going to find it. And I wind up just kind of finding gems spontaneously. Like what I describe as like finding funky pants. Like I really love a clothing item that is going to be a conversation starter. So I've really come across these like cow print pants by chance and these other like tie-dye-esque type pants. But right now I will say my current white whale is looking for an old school Phillies jersey because I hate the quality of the jerseys right now. I miss the old manufacturer, but that in this city has obviously been difficult. But I think these days, just trying to be more mindful of neutrals and things I can mix and match and layer. But I'm still swayed by that statement piece.
I went to Buffalo Exchange looking for a Phillies jersey when the Phillies were hot. It was like Red October or whatever. And I got it. I found like a classic red, button up in the front jersey. Fell in love, got it. I'm like, oh yes, now I can rock it, right? I get home and I notice it's 2 little holes on the arm sleeve.
No.
And I'm like, Fur! I just rolled it up though. Don't wear it.
Yeah.
All right, when we come back after this break, we're going to break down some other spots where you can go thrifting. Looking for that perfect winter outing that feels straight out of a holiday movie? Then bundle up and head over to Independence Blue Cross River Rink Winterfest, Philly's favorite winter tradition on the Delaware River waterfront. Imagine skating under twinkling lights with the Ben Franklin Bridge as your backdrop, sipping hot chocolate by the fire and cozying up in your own private cabin with family and friends. Whether it's date night, family day, or a group outing, Winterfest has everything you need to make magical memories this season. Tickets and rentals go fast, so don't wait. Reserve your skating tickets, fire pits, and cozy cabins now at riverrink.com. Don't miss Independence Blue Cross River Rink Winterfest. Open now through March 1st. Your favorite holiday tradition is waiting. All right, Siani, Abby, where else in the city do you love to go thrifting? What are some other hot spots?
Yeah, I feel like there's a couple places in the city. Like if you want to get a haul, if you want to go to multiple places and spend some time shopping around, the first place that comes to mind for me is South Street. I was actually just over there at Ace Vintage, which I think I've talked about to all of you at this point, yes. Which it's really cute. Ace Vintage is on Fabric Row, and it's a coffee shop and a vintage store. Expensive, so, but it has a really interesting mix of like cool old t-shirts and hoodies and some like vintage denim. And I love getting the coffee there. But when I went, they had a postcard that I think was made by the business district of all the different vintage and thrift along South Street and Fabric Row. And they have so many. So I go down there all the time. One of my favorites is Sweet Peel, which is this really cute kind of curated vintage, like I would say like little housewares, like glass jars and cups and stuff, and then also clothes and accessories and locally made jewelry. It's really a great spot. I always find something there. And yeah, there's just a ton around here. Do you guys like anywhere along South Street?
As a retrospect, vintage is definitely a favorite of mine. It's definitely a mix of, old school clothing and jerseys, to old electronics and furniture. So it's a really good mix. My favorite thing that I've gotten there was a pair of roller skates that, again, was just coming across things by chance. You gotta... Sorry for the Harry Potter reference. When a wand chooses the wizard, the skates chose me that day.
Yeah.
Exact size. They were a great condition, exact size, only $20, which is nice. 'Cause that was especially at the time where it seemed like everybody wanted to start roller skating for some reason. And that could start retailing somewhere around like $80. So $20 is great. And as $20 is in my pocket because I'm not renting skates anymore at the rinks.
Yes, that's true.
Great deal. I think another big hot spot in this area is Philly Aids. I feel like it's a classic thrift experience. It's 2 floors. You can get good deals. They have big bins of clothes too. So there's like a dollar section, which it's nice. They have a lot there. You do have to dig, I feel like. But it's a great cause. Everything goes to, AIDS research. And they also have a second location, also like in South Philly, Giovanni's Room, which is more like a bookstore. But then they also have some clothes and stuff.
What about in Old City?
Yeah, I think Old City swings a little more like vintage. Like I think everything tends to be a bit more like
higher end.
Yeah, higher end. I think there's also a good amount of like housewares and stuff. Actually, one of our CityCast Philly neighbors owns More Than Old, which has like beautiful glassware. So if you ever need some like table settings or you're hosting a party, definitely check More Than Old out. I really love a 4-Foot Prune, which is also in Old City. It is 2 stories, tiny little store, but it's like packed ceiling to floor with lots of like kooky, like, I almost want to say, like, knickknacks, like house trinkets, cool collectibles, really cool posters. I go there and, like, we'll just look at stuff a lot. I almost bought a painting from there the other day that was really beautiful. Just a fun area to walk around and see cool old stuff, I think, is what I think of when I think of, like, Old City secondhand.
Yeah, just thinking about Electra Vintage, walking in there and just seeing the amount of patterns that just bring you to a particular decade. They're, going back to these shops that are very curated, their range of, you see stuff from the 70s all the way to the Y2K fashion that's really popular. And just from the, like baby tees to the type of jeans that are available, the dresses, it really transports you to a particular time period. I think what's nice about them as well is that they activate the spaces with different like workshops, collaborating with other local vendors and event organizers. So that's also a great opportunity to not only like shop around and see something of interest, but also connect with other local businesses in the city in one place.
That's awesome.
Electra has a category, just Jersey Shore. I love that.
That's fun.
Like all of the Jersey Shore like t-shirts and hoodies.
Like the towns and
stuff.
The towns.
Yeah,
yes. That's cute. I love
think that's so cute. And then shout out to them too for having men's graphic tees, men's outerwear, men's sweaters and knits, and men's tops.
Nice.
Because it's hard sometimes for men.
I did a drop off at Marie's Closet in Kensington one time, and because I had to drop off some stuff for my dad, and they were so happy because it's that issue. They rarely like get enough men's clothing when that's what they're most need of. And the volunteer was like, "Men wear their clothes until they die. That's our problem."
Well, you know what?
That's so funny.
I'm looking for quarter zips for my son, and I need to go thrifting. So maybe I'll go to Kensington. But I mean, speaking of Kensington and Fishtown, are there other places I could go look in Kensington or Fishtown?
Yeah, spending so much time in that area, there's quite a bit. I have to do a special shout out to Thunderbird Salvage because that is a treasure trove of things that you didn't even know that you'd be interested in. And they have 2 locations now along Frankfurt Avenue. I think what they are most known for, and when you go on their like Instagram page, all the different types of furniture that is available.
Wow.
I see just beautiful shelving, beautiful entertainment centers, chairs, you name it. I wish I had the space for them all. You could get a functional guillotine there if you wanted to.
A functional guillotine?
Oh my God.
That sounds kind of kinky.
Sounds kind of murdery.
You know?
Yeah, like
they're here for all services, clearly. But they just posted that on their page and everyone was like, are you allowed to sell this? But it's in the name. They salvage anything and everything. The big thing they had done recently was trying to recover as much as they could from the closed U Arts building. So they had like big art sales. But yeah, it's from anything from electronics. I've picked up magazines from like the 70s because I've been trying to build up my collection there. Clothing, it's such a large range. I think it's one of those shops where it's like you're not going intending to find something. It will definitely find you.
Mm-hmm.
They've got this like cute pink rotary phone. It's sold out though. So it seems like you got to move fast. If they're posting it, you better be there in 2 minutes. Speaking of that, can I interject real quick and tell you how fast you should move when you see stuff online at these thrift stores in Philly? One of my favorites is Restore, which has multiple locations in the city. It is connected with Habitat for Humanity. And they posted a mid-century like TV stand, and I've been looking for that aesthetic. $40. I've been waiting. My TV was sitting on like wooden bar stools, okay? I've been waiting for a year for this and hunting and like trying to find the right thing that fit the vision I had. Saw it on their Instagram, on their stories. So you only have like 24 hours to like really move.
Because some of these thrift stores will post like, oh, we have this here, come get it. Like Philly Aids does that sometimes. Thunderbird Salvage, yeah.
I jumped off the couch, got into the car, drove over to the location I used to be at, Allegheny Ave. They just closed that one. And picked it up, tossed it in the back in my trunk. Now, getting it into the house was another story because there was no available parking on my side of the street. So I had to use my wagon, tilt a damn TV stand on the side and just scoot it over to my porch. Took a break and got it in. I like when thrift stores like post like that because then you got to act fast. And it kind of like makes it a game.
And you got to be fast for how low some of these items are. Like Urban Exchange Project, still in that Fishtown area, they have things as low as $5 there. Yes. So you can find some pricier items, but they have like thousands of things that are being filtered out each day for $5. I've gone there, for some jean jackets, thinking about these staple items that I wanted in my closet. And it's a range from local items to name brand stuff. So I definitely highly recommend them, especially their fill a bag sales. They have those on a regular basis. And you could recognize this spot because they have a Homer Simpson statue, which I've bumped into and said, excuse me to before.
They have a holiday pop-up sale happening this Saturday from 11 to 3.
And Circle Thrift is another good spot along Frankfurt Ave that is really, it embodies what you think traditionally as a thrift store. And they'll have the color tag days, so you know which clothing items that you can get the good deal on. And they have furniture too and other items. Like they I've seen like PS4s there. Someone, they were like, oh,
What?
PS5 is coming
That's
out.
crazy.
Goodbye.
That is crazy.
Sewing machines. So whether you're
Yeah.
looking for particular clothing items or, again, they have sewing machines on a regular basis if that's something that you're trying to like learn and get into. But all these different supplies, that again, like people who might be just clearing out their houses and need to let go of something fast, these thrift stores are getting all of these really quality items in such big bulks. I think is why it's important to support them. And they're really community oriented. At my old job, we had done a pop-up like free Halloween costume shop because Halloween is expensive.
Yeah.
It's really wasteful. So we were trying to get new and gently used stuff. And Circle Thrift really hooked us up once they heard about what we were doing. So it's really a reciprocal, community-oriented relationship that I love there.
One other thing I love about Circle Thrift too is that they don't do individual pricing of the items. They price by what it is. Like women's t-shirts, $4. Women's skirts, $6. Like they do a flat price and then they have like discounted things as well on top of that. But I found that like it makes my shopping experience so much easier because I just go in and I'm like, great, $4 for a shirt. I'll just grab as many as I want, you know?
All right, let's go over to Manayunk along Main Street. There's a few spots.
Yeah. I love Manayunk's Main Street for doing like vintage furniture shopping, and Jinxed is a store that has a couple locations across Philly that like mainly does vintage furniture. They have one, like you said, at Manayunk, Fishtown, South Philly. They used to have one on Baltimore Ave that closed in the past year or so. I love looking at all their stuff. It's very like mid-century modern curated furniture. Great time. There's also Urban Burb Furniture, which Siani, me and you walked through last time we were in Manayunk together, which is kind of the same. I would even say it's a little higher end than Jinxed, but great if you're looking for some really unique vintage furniture. Another thing when me and Siani went to Manayunk that we ran into was this really cute secondhand store called Kingswood Collection, and it's all like men's clothes, which I feel like we've kind of hinted at that it's really hard sometimes to find like masculine or like men's exclusive shops. Like I feel like a lot of the men's sections in some of these secondhand shops are like an afterthought. And so it's nice to see that there are options. Like when me and my partner go shopping, they have a harder time finding stuff specifically for them. So yeah, shout out to Kingswood. They also had great jerseys and stuff too. So if you're looking for jerseys and things like that, good spot.
Good to know. Also, it's really hard to, or like the afterthought plus size options,
Yes,
tall options, maternity items. I found that 2nd Avenue Thrift that has a few locations in our area, I will say. But in Philly, I think there's one in Franklin Mills. You can find like plus size options.
Yeah, there's one in South Philly too, kind of over by the Walmart and stuff that has pretty big sections and has a plus size section. I've heard that the Wardrobe out in Old City, it's like off of Callow Hill, has a pretty good selection of like cute plus size options too, like specifically curated. And they have a really just like cool mission in general. Like since the 90s, they've been looking to help people overcome barriers to employment by providing affordable professional clothes. So like suit coats, skirts, like things like that. So love that, and a great cause to support too.
Also, I totally forgot. We got to shout out like the pop-ups in the city that have secondhand prom dresses, because sometimes that is also a barrier for folks. I've used that when I was in high school. It was like my fairy godmother, and I felt so good. Like clothes and fashion is really like emotional. And I've been in that space where my body has changed, or I've had like financial burdens where I couldn't purchase like the super puffy, ball gowns. And I could really still have that experience of getting a dress, getting a purse, getting like shoes. So shout out to the pop-ups. I know there's like several different groups in the city that cater during prom season. Now, let's talk about some of those consignment shops. Now, these are the higher end purchases that you might do.
Yeah, I want to shout out more Vintage Archive on Fabric Row. I love them. I have never purchased anything because I can't afford it. But I mean, the guy who runs it is just like has an incredible amount of fashion knowledge. He is really like almost an archivist. Like there's so much incredible stuff. One of my friends who also loves fashion came to visit me the other day, and we spent like an hour in there just like talking with him and being like, oh my God, I love this. I remember this show, blah, 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 blah. And it was so much fun. So if you can ever go over to Fabric Row and look at some really incredible pieces, I would absolutely suggest more.
Once worn consignment and Northern Liberties, that's kind of what really introduced me to that distinction between secondhand stores or like thrift to consignment. They're bestseller items. They say like, thinking about boutique brands and designer labels, but they'll, accept things, from like urban outfitters as well at times. But they have a really nice range, and I think it's in such a convenient spot because, again, you're in Northern Liberties on 2nd Street. It's easily accessible to everything, as well as some other like vintage shops that might be in the area. I went on their page and saw a sweater that I came across elsewhere a year ago, and now I'm like, oh... If only I saw this sooner, because I definitely would have been on the shop and nabbed that. So maybe that might be my second white whale to hunt down for. But it seems like they have their pulse on just like what's trendy and making that accessible to folks. And, if you're looking to make a profit on some of your clothes, that's another local option for you to go to.
Really cool.
Well, these are all just amazing options. Favorite thrift store? If someone was like, Siani, tell me your favorite thrift store in Philly, how would you answer?
I think my new one officially is Retro Rewind in Brewery Town. This one had been on my list for a minute to visit. I had a friend who used to work there, and I was just running errands on Girard Ave. I was like, let me just take a moment to just pop in and see what happens. I left with 3 things. I have been meaning to get some corduroy pants for the fall winter season and left with 2 pairs in different colors that were in great shape. And then I got a burgundy jacket to go with it. So I was in the little dressing room just like posing, saying, okay, do I got an outfit here? And then the owner was also hyping me up when I came out, looking in the mirror. So it was a great energy of just everything was really curated with intention. Like she said, she purposely paired certain items so people can like see and like follow like the path for an outfit. So they're not like digging, just like okay, I have this, what can go with this? I'm stuck on this item. It's very carefully curated to help you within that shopping experience. And I think they had a great selection. It's a very cozy space, and the staff were amazing. So all around, it was a really great shopping experience for me.
All right, you sold me. I'm signing up for the mailing list. What about you, Abby?
Well, I'm going to cheat because mine is Goods Vintage, but they have 3 locations and they're all on the same block too. So you can like literally walk to each location. And I love it because I think my brain like loves how they like categorized each store is different stuff. So one store is all of their vintage jewelry, and the other store is all of their home decor. And then the next is the clothing and accessories. I love their jewelry store. That, I would say, if I had to pick one of the 3, is the one I go to all the time. They have great sterling. The guy who works there, who runs the social, is wonderful. He helps me pick stuff out and gives me deals. He's like, oh, I'll give you 20% off for you because I know you because you come in here all the time. I almost got a charm the other day there. It was like a little sterling strawberry. It was so cute, and I had a perfect chain for it, but I didn't do it. But so that's a regret I have, a thrift regret. But yeah, I love the location of all these stores. It's in the Italian market, like literally right across from all the stalls. So sometimes I'll go in with my little grocery bag of produce and check it all out. But they also have great clothing and accessories at the clothing and accessories store. Really beautiful home decor, a little on the pricier side, but really fun to look at. But I would definitely suggest if you're looking for like quality secondhand jewelry, Goods is my go-to. Really fun spot.
You sold me. I'm signing up to unlock 10% off my first purchase.
Get them points.
Right. This is amazing. This is all great. I got to go with the Goodwill in Parkside.
Mm-hmm.
I love bumping into friends over there because I'm like, oh, yeah, we're on the same vibe. But it's just like super community. All of it is helping a good cause. I love to donate. You can actually use their desktop when you first walk in. It's on your left side. Use the desktop. You can type in any items that you are donating and it prints out a receipt for you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It's just really been a solid spot for me when I'm totally being selfish, when I'm looking for clothes for me. It's great. You can sign up for like their text messages and they'll text you when they have like more sales on top of the sales. And, it's also kind of fun to see what the colored tag of the day is because those items end up being more discounted. So it makes it fun. And now I can pass on any thrifting knowledge to my little one, and she's understanding and getting into thrifting. So it's a great place to kind of start, I would say. But this is all good. Thank you, Siani and Abby. You guys should look at like our prep doc for this episode. It's like packed with so many thrifting stores in Philly. This is all good. I'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks, Trenae.
Happy thrifting, y'all.
We'll have a map of a bunch of other great thrift spots in the city. Check out that link in the show notes. And Siani will also have an article in the newsletter. That's all for today here on CityCast Philly. If you enjoyed this episode about the best places to go thrifting in the city, you got to tell a friend. Rate the show, leave us a review, and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to sign up for our morning newsletter, Hey Philly, to learn more about what else Philly's talking about. And don't forget, you can support the show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Philly neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with the Friday News Roundup. Talk to you then. Bye.
I almost want to say like knickknacks, like little adult toys. I don't know what to call them.
Don't say adult toys. Huh?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, no, I don't know what to call them. Like it's like collectibles. Maybe I'll say
like
collectibles.
House accessories or like
house
trinkets.
Okay, trinkets. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Is it trinket? Is it knickknack? Is it
not an adult toy?
Not an adult toy.
Not an adult toy. Oh my God, vintage adult toys or secondhand adult. Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.